Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome back to this new market update. We're going to do a full update on just in general how the market is looking so far. The US market has opened about 40 minutes ago. We have Trump talk in 35 minutes when I'm recording this right now, right? So that's probably a little bit sooner if you're watching this video after I've uploaded it. But in general, that's why we're expecting quite a lot of volatility. We're not getting, we had some news today with the initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims, but again, the data has been very, very mixed. The existing home sales were higher than expected, but that doesn't really seem to have an effect on the markets. And like I said, the jobless claims data was very mixed with some worse than expected results and some better than expected results. So that doesn't really matter either. I mean, the two main things for Bitcoin and crypto right now, I think at least, are the traditional financial markets, so stocks, the S&P 500, which as you can see right now have actually opened very, very well. We left a bit of a gap to the downside in the futures market. The S&P actually traded a bit lower, so that gap has now been filled, and now we're going to be testing whether we can actually get some sort of a continued recovery. Yes or no, and that will be absolutely crucial, all right, because on the higher time frames, if the S&P 500 is going to be able to break back above 569, that would be a massive reclaim, and that would most likely start some more bullish momentum, and therefore also some more bullish momentum for Bitcoin. But that is something we'll have to monitor. I mean, the opening so far has been good. I cannot lie about that, and we have to be honest about that. So that gives me a bit of positivity and some optimism about the price of Bitcoin as well. But even though we see this, there's two things that I don't really like. First of all, I think the speech of Trump at the Blockworks Digital Asset Summit, I don't expect much from it. It's at 10:40 Eastern Time, so right now in Eastern Time it's 10:13. So like I said, it's in 30 minutes. I thought it was only a couple of minutes or something. It was a very short speech, so I'm not sure how short it is, but I don't think anything he's going to say can actually make the markets move a lot. So therefore, I'm slightly worried about a sell the news effect, and I think you should be too. I don't think Bitcoin all of a sudden will get a bearish breakdown because of that, but it is, short term, the volatility is something you should be prepared for. And ultimately, I mean, Bitcoin still looks fine technically, all right? Like I said, I'm slightly optimistic about the fundamentals, aka the stock market as well. So therefore, I already have somewhat of a bullish bias. But outside of that, I mean, Bitcoin has been defending its breakout right here above 84,000, 85,000 very, very well. There was some bearish pressure earlier today, but we've been able to defend that with volume. You can see the 382 fib right here has been able to hold so far. So I still think on Bitcoin, as I said this morning as well, that it's most likely that we will be able to hold this level. Like I said, due to the Digital Asset Summit and in general the markets right now, we can have some volatility, but ultimately I do think we'll be able to hold this, and I think we'll be able to get some more bullish momentum into that range between 88,000 and 90,000. Now, outside of the potential sell the news effect that could come after the Trump speech, something else I don't like is that even though the stock market has opened relatively well, the Coinbase Bitcoin price has been in a discount. Now, you should always take this with a grain of salt, because this will not be a leading indicator in price action, but that is just something I don't really, well, it's not great, all right? Yesterday and the day before, this was at a premium, and we saw actual bidding coming in from the US for Bitcoin, and the fact that has now decreased at the very least is not great. I still think this is most likely, but I would have maybe aimed higher if we actually saw a Coinbase Bitcoin premium as well. Now, talking about XRP real quick, and then we'll talk about some other altcoins that I think are interesting. XRP, nothing has changed. It's been very stable since this morning. Like I said, short term, we could still have some volatility into our main support at 2.41. But I also still think, due to my thoughts on the general markets and my opinion on XRP itself, that we'll be able to respect that support, that we'll be able to hold it and actually get some more bullish momentum later as well. So those are my thoughts on XRP. And overall, if you take a look at the altcoin market, the Bitcoin dominance has been slightly higher in the last hour or so, or since the US opening. But there are definitely coins that are outperforming the market. All right, so two of them, or at least the two coins that I think are most interesting right now, they're also coins I keep an eye on quite a lot, are Sui and Tau. All right, so what you can see with Tau is that it's trying to break above this range right here. I think that could be interesting. I like Tau a lot in general. And we actually saw some AI strength earlier this morning as well. So could be interesting. Definitely want to watch. That's for certain. And then we have Sui right here, which broke above the range already. So that already has completed the breakout. And now we have some volume coming in after the breakout as well, which is an indication that it's a real breakout, and that basically buyers and sellers are agreeing that this is a fair price, so that this is a real breakout, and that we can also see some more bullish momentum coming from this. So those are the two main altcoins I would watch. There's some other ones on my watch list. I mean, I still think Hype is very interesting, and I think Hype is trying to put in some sort of a bullish reversal right here. So that could be one to watch. Beam, the gaming coin, has a huge amount of volume right here, as you can see, so that could be interesting. But outside of that, I mean, outside of sticking to a few altcoins that look interesting, I would be careful. All right, there's isolated altcoin opportunities every single day, such as Auction, X, Fartcoin as well. They're there, but with those you have to be a little bit more careful, I'd say, than with these bigger ones. And we end the video while the market is pumping, so that's nice. Like I said, these are my thoughts on Bitcoin. Be aware of the events that could cause volatility today, but then you should be fine. And like I said, I'm slightly optimistic. So those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye.